Today we're going to be showing you how to make great coffee with pour over. Here's what you're going to need to follow along with the video. You're going to need some coffee and a grinder to grind the coffee unless it's already been ground. From there you're going to need a timer and a scale to weigh what we're doing. The scale is going to be really helpful in making sure you can do the same thing that I'm doing. From there you're also going to need, of course, your pour over, but also a kettle, hopefully one with a gooseneck, but don't sweat it if you don't have one. A regular kettle will do just fine. You'll still be able to pour. It's just going to make it a little bit easier to be accurate in terms of weighing what we're doing if you happen to have a gooseneck. And if you don't have one, you're interested in buying one, we have a link below to get a couple of really affordable options. They're not very expensive. And the last thing you're going to need is some filters for your cone. Filters usually come from the brand that you bought your cone from. You can buy them on Amazon. I think these V60 filters are $10 for 200 filters. Otherwise, you're gonna need the filters that go with the cone that you have. So if you don't have a V60 and you're using something else, make sure to get those filters for those. All right, now that we've got everything, we are ready to brew. So the first things we're gonna do, we're gonna get some water in our kettle, get that really hot, and while that's heating up, we're gonna go ahead and grind our coffee. The hardest thing to communicate in a YouTube video is how fine or coarse my grounds are. It's just gonna be really impossible for me to give you exactly the same size to use at home. What I'm just gonna recommend is that you try to go sort of as close to your perception of medium as you can. And then from there, taste and adjust. So if it tastes a little bit bitter, maybe a little bit dirty or kind of astringent in your mouth, it's probably a little too fine. I would go a little bit bigger than that. If it tastes weak, or sour or metallic or kind of watery, then I would fine it up a little bit to try to get a little bit more sweetness and flavor out of it. So let's go ahead and weigh and grind. Now before we go ahead and brew, we're gonna take some of our freshly boiled water and we're gonna pour it through our cone with no coffee in it, just the filter. We're just gonna get all of the paper wet with our boiling water. Now this does two things. It's gonna, first of all, get rid of the papery taste that the filter might impart into our cup of coffee. But secondly, it's also gonna warm up our cone a little bit so that when we actually brew our coffee in it, the cone doesn't steal heat from the brew, which is just gonna help us get more flavor out of it. All right, now we're ready to brew. We've got our freshly ground coffee, we've got some boiling water, we've pre-wet our filter, and we've got our scale and our timer. So from there, we can go ahead and get our coffee in there. We're gonna remember to tare the scale. The first thing we're gonna do is what we call a bloom. So we're just gonna pour a little bit of water in and start our timer. And then we're just gonna take our cone and give it a little swirl. Now, the point of the bloom is just to make sure all of the grounds get wet at the same time. So that little swirl just helps get all of the grounds wet, and then also helps let some of the carbon dioxide in the grounds degas. Now, when the timer hits 30 seconds, we're gonna go ahead and pour till our scale reads 150 grams. We're gonna do our last pour to 250 grams at 1 minute and 5 seconds. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. We hope you guys are staying safe, staying home, staying healthy, and I hope you have a lot of fun trying this out. Shoot us any questions or comments you have below the video. We'd love to hear from you.